What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If you're stopping by the channel for the first time, please consider subscribing to my channel. And while you're at it, smash that like button. I really would appreciate it. Also, hit that post notification bell so that you're notified every time I upload a new video. Guys, if you want to join my Wealth Builders financial community on Patreon, you know what to do. Get yourself down in the description box. Click on that Patreon link, which is the first link down in the description box. Guys, all we do in that Wealth Builders financial community is help each other build wealth. None of us are experts. None of us don't try to be experts. All we do, man, is drop nuggets, tips, best practices, what's working, what's not working. And we provide a safe haven, man, for people who are chasing that financial freedom thing in order to get there, man. If you want to be a part of that financial community, you know what to do. Get yourself down to the first link in the description box, which is the Patreon link. Click on it. It'll take you over to Patreon. Sign up for the Wealth Builders financial community, and then send me a DM letting me know that you rock with me. And then it's time for us to go to work. Also, guys, the good folks at Webull are offering a cash bonus reward for anybody that opens up a new Webull brokerage account. Now, you got to put some money in that brokerage account, but when you do, they will give you some cash bonus. All the details are in the second link down in the description box. Click on that second link, which is that Webull link, and it'll give you all the details on the free cash bonus reward for those of you who decide to open up a new Webull brokerage account. Well, guys, I'm traveling. As you can see, I'm not in my prototypical environment. I'm actually in Colorado, specifically Boulder, Colorado, Denver, Colorado, and got an opportunity to hang out with one of my favorite people in the whole world, which is Coach Prime. He's doing okay. I just want you guys that rock with me and follow me, that ask about him from time to time, to let y'all know he's doing great. I had some good quality time with him on yesterday. And I also enjoyed the rest of Colorado in Denver and Boulder. Got to see some beautiful mountains, man. Got to do a little shopping, got to hang out with some family. So I'm loving life right now. But that's what freedom will do for you, right? See, that's what freedom does for us. It gives us an opportunity to be able to do the things that are most important to us without having to worry about how we're going to pay for it. That's freedom, man. If you want a piece of that, you got to go get it. It don't fall out the sky and hit you on top of the head. I'm going to let you know that right now. It does not fall out the sky and hit you on top of the head. You got to discipline yourself. You got to be consistent. And guess what? You got to be patient, because you know wealth is not built overnight. Just like Rome wasn't built overnight. It took time, and it's going to take time for you to build your wealth to get to your passive income. Now let's talk about these 3 stocks that you need to consider selling right now. And I know some of y'all are like, what in the world is this guy talking about? We're long-term investors. We don't sell nothing. And I'm with you. I've been a long-term investor for over 30 years. And let me preface by saying this. This is not financial advice, guys. I know the title says sell everything now. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Do not sell anything until you go get you some professional help to walk you through whatever your strategy is to build wealth. This is just me giving you my opinion. This is not professional advice. So please go get you professional advice before you do anything with your portfolio. Capiche? All right, now that I've gave y'all the disclaimer, let me give you the 3 stocks that I'm thinking and the strategy I'm going to use in order to continue to build my wealth. The 3 stocks that I'm considering selling, but not permanently, is going to be NVIDIA, Palantir, and Rocket Lab. Now, some of y'all might say, well, man, those are monsters. Why are you selling those? I thought you were a long-term guy. Well, I am. But think about it this way. Over the history of the stock market, stocks go up, but ultimately they do come down. Let's take NVIDIA, for example. I started purchasing NVIDIA back in 2024. And I'm telling you, man, 2024 was a roller coaster ride. One day we're at all-time highs. The next day we're dipping. It's a dipsy. And throughout that year, I learned something, that just because you buy a stock and then decide to sell it, but you can also buy it again, doesn't mean you're not a long-term investor. In my opinion, what it means is I just want to go ahead and lock in some profits just in case down the road something happens. I want them profits locked in. You feel me? So all I'm saying is with NVIDIA, my strategy, just like with Palantir and with Rocket Lab, is to buy into these three stocks. But then when they get to all-time highs, maybe go ahead and lock in some profit. And that way, when they do dip back down again, which they will, because that's just how the stock market works, nothing goes up forever. What goes up must come down. So when they dip, then that's a great opportunity for me to lock in again, right? Now, with NVIDIA, you guys know I've been rocking with NVIDIA for a long time. And I'm going to continue to rock with them for the next 9 to 10 years because that's my long-term wealth building plan. Same with Palantir. But that doesn't mean I'm just going to blindly stay in them and never take some profits off the table to lock it in, right? And that's the strategy that I'm going to do. I'm going to buy these companies, but I'm going to, from time to time, take profit, lock it in, and then get back into the DCA in them long term again. Right now, you got NVIDIA at all-time highs, man. I think, I want to say on Friday, it may have gotten to about $175 a share. So for me, man, that's a lock-in profit number. And that's what I plan on doing with Palantir as well. Right now, on Friday, Palantir hit 160. I've already told you guys through my little research, which is not professional research. I'm not a professional. I'm just a guy on YouTube. So go out and do your own homework before you make any decisions. But I'm going to tell you the research I did shows that Palantir probably could pull back sometime before Q2 earnings or shortly after Q2 earnings. And what I've been watching, a lot of people have talked about Palantir pulling back to like $120 a share. Again, guys, I don't know if that's true or not. I'm just telling you what I read from some analysts. That doesn't mean it's true though. So you got to go out and do your own homework and figure that out for yourself. And like I said, if you're not comfortable making your own financial decisions, please go get you some professional help. Go get you a financial advisor who can walk you through the nuances of the stock market, because I'm not that guy. I'm just a guy on YouTube who's sharing his opinion with you. But for me, that's what I'm thinking. And I'm thinking same thing with NVIDIA. When NVIDIA gets ready to come into Q2 numbers, based on my history with NVIDIA, they typically pull back after reporting. Even though the numbers might be phenomenal numbers, the numbers that beat expectations, over the last 3 or 4 quarters since I've been a shareholder, after every earnings report, the stock typically pulls back. Now, again, that doesn't mean it'll pull back this time, but I just want to be prepared. So for me, it's like, okay, 175, all-time high, maybe take some profits off the table, lock that profit in, and be ready to go. Same thing with Palantir. $160 a share, take some of those profits off the table, lock them in, be ready to go on the pullback. Again, what goes up must come down. Now, how far it comes down, I don't know. When it comes down, I don't know. But my position is, bird in the hand is better than 2 in the bush. So profits are right there on the table. Why wouldn't I not just take them and then be ready to go if in my opinion, the pullback will come. I just don't know when, right? Could be tomorrow or Monday, or it could be 6 months from now. I don't know, because I'm not a professional. I'm not an expert here. I'm just a guy, that's been doing this for 30 years and just giving you my opinion on these 3 stocks. Now, look at Rocket Lab. Week or so ago, got to $53 a share, all-time high. All-time high. So what does that mean? To a guy like me, that means, Richard, it might be time to take some profit. Because again, man, in my world that I live in, the stock market that I've been participating in for 30 years, again, no expert here, just a regular guy, regular retail investor, just like many of you trying to figure out a strategy that wins, they pull back. Now, where they pull back to, I have no idea. Think about even last week. I believe Rocket Lab pulled back about 10% last week from the $53 per share high. It pulled back about 10%, maybe even about 12%. I think one time last week, it had gotten itself down to like $44 a share from $53 a share. So that was a nice little pullback right there. So they do pull back, but that doesn't mean they don't boomerang and rebound. I think they do long term. But my goal here is to make sure I put myself in the best position to try to lock in as much profit as I can. Now, some folks will say, well, you know something, I'm 10, 15 years in this thing. I ain't locking in nothing. Everything I'm gonna just leave it in there and forget about it. Nothing wrong with that. Ask the people who invested in Microsoft or, or Apple or Meta or Amazon or Alpha, any of those people that invested in those mega companies right now who just stayed the course over the last, 30, 40 years. Them people are loving it right now. So I'm not saying that you got to do anything. I'm just telling you what my strategy is. That doesn't mean my strategy is right, but I try to take the strategy that's best for me. I listen to people, I read, I do my own little research, and then ultimately I got to make the decision. And my decision right now is exactly what I explained to you. So you got to get out there and figure out with your portfolios what's the right move for you right now when everything is pretty much at all-time highs. You got an S&P 500 well over 6,300 points. Looks like it's pushing higher. You got a NASDAQ over 21,000 points. Looks like it. And I'm not saying that they closed at that on Friday. I'm just saying intraday, they've all had all-time highs over the last couple of weeks. And then, of course, the Dow is still not at its all-time high, but it's getting close. It's getting closer and closer to 45,000 points. So I'm looking at the broader stock market saying to myself, what goes up must come down. That's what I'm thinking to myself. What goes up must come down. Again, guys, not financial advice, not trying to tell you what to do, but I'm just trying to give you what the strategy is for me as I try to navigate these stock market streets and figure out the best method in order to make money and be in the money, both short term and long term. That's all I'm saying. And another one is Coreweave. You guys know I've been buying Coreweave like crazy over the last, I would say, several months. And looks like, I don't know what's going on with Coreweave, but one thing I did read, and this was from some experts, not me. I'm just telling you what I read. So please go out and get your own financial advice from a licensed financial advisor before you do anything. But I read that when Coreweave, some of their earlier investors, and this might have been even pre-IPO, some of the early investors, what they do is when you invest early on in companies like this, they lock up your shares. And when they lock up your shares, that means you've signed a contract specifically saying you can't sell those shares for a specified amount of time. So what I've been reading is that a lot of these early investors, their lockup period is over. So of course, if they did pre-IPO, ain't no telling what these people bought these shares for. It could be down in the single digits. And now you got this thing, a month or so ago, rally up to $185 a share. A lot of these early investors, even at the price what it is now, a lot of these early investors are selling, if not all, some of their shares. So what happens? You have that old supply versus demand, right? The more supply of shares that hit the market and you got the same demand, prices go down. Why? Because you have more supply than demand. The reverse also works. If you have scarcity of those shares and you got a bunch of demand, what happens to the share price? It goes up. Why? Because there's fewer shares available for the demand that's calling for those shares, right? So I'm thinking that's what is happening with Coreweave. Again, Coreweave doesn't make any money. When I say they don't make any money, they make revenue, they just don't make any profit. So their revenues exceed, their profits exceed, their expenses exceed their revenue. So there's no profit right now for them. And some of these early investors are probably saying, something, some of them might have been 100 baggers. Who knows, right? You may have had some 100 baggers in there. People who've 100x their money or 50x, 25x, 10x, 5x, and they just decided, hey man, it's time to get out. So that potentially could be what's happening with Coreweave. I still like Coreweave. It's just so volatile that I can't get into the position and feel comfortable based on the level of volatility that's in there right now. And again, you can certainly short term it, right? Get in at a price where you think it's safe and then bounce out of it. But you're taking a risk at this point, in my opinion, at least for me. Again, not financial advice. I want you guys to go out and talk to your own financial advisors. Go talk to other people. Go read what the experts are saying, and you make your own financial decision based on that. But for me personally, I'm gonna stay away from Coreweave for right now until I get a better understanding of the long-term trajectory of this thing. Because right now, it's not looking good for a guy like me. So for me, I'm gonna stick with big boy blue chip, BBBC, ABB, always be buying, and just making sure I'm putting myself in a position to win and win long term. That's the key, man. I gotta win long term because at the end of the day, I'm not gonna be able to get out here and hustle forever. At some point, I want to have assets that generate enough passive income to take care of me, and unless I got a strategy in place and I'm willing to execute, I never get there. I work for the rest of my life. I don't want to work for the rest of my life. And maybe some of you do, but I don't. I want to be able to kick back and enjoy life and have my assets generate passive income. But without executing, whether it be real estate for income, whether it be paper assets for dividends, whether it be, building a business that you can scale and exit that business, whatever your strategy is, or you just go, all in on Bitcoin. Maybe you take everything and go all in on Bitcoin. Maybe Bitcoin goes to $1 million a coin. I don't know, man. But whatever your strategy is, have one. The number one way to not build wealth is not having a strategy to build wealth. So get out there, talk to your financial advisors, do your research, and figure out a way to execute, man. Because here's the deal, man. It only gets tougher. You guys know what's going on in the United States, around the world when it comes to money. It's ever changing, right? And of course, the 1% have no vested interest in the 99% building any wealth. They have no interest in allowing us to build any wealth. So guess what we got to do? We got to go build wealth anyways. So we got to be careful when we're talking about the stock market. You got to think about what's happening. Is it market behavior, market manipulation, or is it business performance? When a company is having business performance issues, that is a great chance the stock price could go down. But sometimes you see these companies that are not having business performance issues, that are great companies, but the stock price is going down. And a lot of times that's just market manipulation. Sometimes that's just propaganda, right? We know there are dark pools out there where your institutional investors, your hedge funds, your billionaires, they move a lot of weight through these dark pools that may or may not show up on your radar as a retail investor, right? So just be careful, understand what companies you're in, understand what the historical performance of those companies are, and make sure that they give you the most optimal chance to build wealth. That's why y'all know my wealth transfer blueprint 1.0, 2.0 is something that I've been rocking with. I'm gonna continue to rock with it because it's 80% ETFs, big boy blue chip ETFs with like Vanguard and State Street and Fidelity. And again, guys, this is not a promo for any of those companies. I don't know, they don't know me from Adam. But I know when it's time to build wealth long term, I want to make sure I put my money in something that has a historical track record of winning. And when you think about the S&P 500 index, or an ETF that tracks the S&P 500 index, historical track record of winning, man. Go look at it over the last 90 years. It's phenomenal results. Again, doesn't mean it'll be the same results in the future, but historically, they're monsters. So 80% of the money that I invest, I don't want to be the expert. I want to have other experts like, Vanguard, Fidelity, State Street, and the list goes on and on. Those guys are the experts. So what do? I go to Vanguard and I find me a fund like VOO, which is an S&P 500 ETF that tracks the S&P 500 index. Basically, it mirrors the S&P 500 index. That gives me the best opportunity to make sure I'm in the market 365 days a year, and I'm not sitting on the sideline trying to time the market. Because of course, history tells us time in the market, you cannot really time the market and be successful at it long term. So time in the market is my strategy as opposed to trying to time the market. That's with the long-term investment strategy. Of course, you guys know with the short-term investment strategy, I am trying to be the expert, which I'm not. And in that strategy, I am trying to time the market. But that's a small part of my portfolio. The larger part of the portfolio is I don't want to be an expert. I don't want to time the market. I just want to be in the market, because history tells me over the long haul, if I'm just dollar cost averaging in over a long period of time, history says I win. So I want to go with history. Drop me some comments down in the comment box and let me know what you guys think about Palantir, Rocket Lab, and NVIDIA on the pullback at some point in the near future. What do you guys think the odds are that those three juggernauts are going to pull back? I think history is on our side, though. I think history says they have to. Nothing goes up without coming down at some point. So at some point in the future, all three will pull back. The question is when, and then the question is how much. But what I want to do is I want to have some dry powder on the sideline so that if they do pull back, especially NVIDIA and Palantir, if those two pull back, I want to have some dry powder on the sideline so that I can take advantage of the dip and be able to be in a good position. So when it does transition back higher, I'm in great position to be able to take advantage of that bounce. So like I said, drop me some comments down in the comment box and let me know what you guys think about those three stocks pulling back. Also, let me know what you think about just the market overall. All-time highs S&P 500, all-time highs NASDAQ. What do you think about that? Is it sustainable? I say it isn't, but I'd love to get you guys' feedback. So drop it down in the comment box and let me know what you think. Also, like I mentioned, Wealth Builders Financial Community on Patreon. Like I said, first link down in the description box. Get yourself down in the description box. Click on that Wealth Builders Financial Community Patreon link. That's where I'm giving out the real game. That's where we got over 2,000 wealth builders headed in one direction, which is financial freedom and building wealth, and looking for that passive income thing, right? That's the only thing that keeps us out of the matrix, man. If you want to control 100% of your time and control your own financial destiny, you got to have assets that create passive income in order to make that happen. So that's what we do over in the Wealth Builders. No experts. We don't try to tell you what to do. We don't give you hot stocks and that kind of stuff. What we do is talk about long-term wealth building the right way so that we can put ourselves in a position where we can control 100% of our time and control our own financial destiny. So like I said, get down in the description box, first link, click on that Wealth Builders Financial Community link. Come join us. We'd love to have you. Like I said, guys, the good folks at Webull, they got that cash bonus reward offer. Second link down in the description box. Get down there, click on that Webull link. Now, all the details will be discussed. Once you click on the link, you'll see all the details about the cash bonus reward. Basically, what it is depending upon the deposit that you put in, they will give you some cash bonus based on that deposit. And all of the tiers are listed below when you click on the link. So if someone's interested in that, go check it out. Again, nobody has to do that, but if you want to check it out, check it out. I've been rocking with Webull since 2021. A lot of brokerage apps out there, so you got to go out and figure out the one that's right for you. But for me, I like Webull. It's easy to use. It's self-directed. So I like those. And you know, I like they allow me to do fractional share trading. That's the big one, right? That fractional share trading is awesome. So go check it out, man. And like I said, second link down in the description box. If you guys are stopping by the channel for the first time, please consider subscribing, share the video, smash that like button. Thoughts become things. You can see it in your mind. You can hold it in your hands. You guys keep chasing your greatness. Never stop believing in yourself. Stay healthy, get wealthy. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.